I'm the owner of a very niche company, right? It does work for a couple different agencies within the US government. And we provide sensors that get mounted on, airplanes and other things. And we support the Environmental Protection Agency and in DOD. We're up to like 7 or 8 employees. So not a lot of employees. But then all the bookkeeping and stuff became sort of important, but yet because I was the owner, I became the guy who's trying to keep the books and juggle things and keep everybody paid and adding, benefits to people and stuff. And I think I first got into QuickBooks. We were getting headed towards tax time. And, it seems like every year, as you get close to tax time, you really want to get into the QuickBooks and make sure everything is ready so that you can hopefully go into tax time and either get money back or pay as little as possible kind of stuff. So it didn't take me long to realize I was beyond my level of expertise. And I think I was probably searching YouTube for some help on how to do QuickBooks. And I did see, obviously some videos that Candus has up there. And she resonated really well with me because it's the kind of, I'm a person who likes to be trained, but at the same time, I want to be trained by somebody who really knows what they're doing, as well as not taking a whole long time to get there. And I will tell you, there's a couple other places out there on YouTube and others that have like, here's a 2.5 hour long video. I really didn't have time for 2.5 hours at a time, although I did probably spend more than that over a period of time getting to have some expertise. So I did enjoy my work with Candus, and her training has just resonated really well with me. So it very quickly, her just the idea that she labeled it competence with QuickBooks really hits the nail on the head for me, because in fact, that's what it gave me really was confidence. I was using QuickBooks and I was jamming stuff in wherever I could and hoping it would, be a record of what I was doing, right? And I'm like, I should just do a spreadsheet or something. It'd be quicker and easier. But the fact is, you needed this software, but then it was pretty intimidating, I guess. And as a technical guy, you would think I wouldn't be too intimidated by software, but you're constantly worrying about what if you put something in there wrong, what's it going to do? So the way Candus's program builds up, you really do get some confidence pretty quick. And I will tell you, she likes to talk about her aha moments and stuff. Well, for me, it was as you're putting data in, every once in a while, you jump back and look at your profit and loss. Because, let's face it, a new business wants to see that they're making money, right? Or whatever. But it became very interesting to how what you're putting in one place, how it shows up in another. And so when you're looking at that profit and loss and you're saying, oh, I don't like the way this looks, you can find out why it looks like that and maybe how you might change it. So what I found, and the aha moment really was for me, the connection between what you're inserting and where it shows up in the reports. To be honest, prior to doing my work with Candus, I didn't really go through near the number of reports that there are in QuickBooks. Yeah, we do the balance sheet and the profit and loss, and half the time the accountant just sent them to me and I went over them and looked at them. Now I pretty much can do almost all my books. I do have an accountant still to keep me honest and stuff, right? But it does allow me to really go to different places and see why something is showing up in one place or another. So it's just good stuff, and it does give owners a different appreciation. It kind of gives you a look at QuickBooks from an owner's perspective, which was a big deal for me. Kind of knowing where all the money was being spent allowed me to sort of relook at my proposals in areas where I needed to probably beef up my proposals. In other words, in my anxiousness to win proposals, I sometimes didn't add enough money in there. And I talked to my guys, it's kind of like the race to the bottom. We want to beat other people to win a contract, but we can't do it at all costs. And until you really can look at your books and see where are all your costs going, you really don't know that, well, you probably underbid this or overbid something else. And again, it's back to those, you being able to use those reports in QuickBooks as a tool to help you grow your business. And that's a big deal. It's a lot different than just putting in expense reports and filling out travel claims. I've enjoyed the journey, and I still get in on the periodic calls and stuff. There's always something valuable that comes out of that. And I'm on a number of Facebook type chat, with a bunch of the folks that she has grouped together there. It's always interesting to see how other people would approach the same problem in QuickBooks, and pretty useful.